How well has your cashback card been working? Have you found a better card since that podcast episode? Great question. We've been sticking with our Capital One Spark card from the beginning, as in from when we started using it. And it's been great for us. It's 2% back on every purchase. So we actually run everything through that. So we pay for inventory through that. We pay all of our fulfillment center. We pay contractors, people that we work with, designers. We pay for our ads. We pay for Amazon ads. We pay for software. We pay for our Verizon phone bill. Like anything with our business, we pay for with that. We get our 2% back. And we have the miles one. I think there's two versions of the Spark for Capital One. I think you can do a miles one or a straight like cash back one. But technically this miles one you can redeem for cash too. So I don't really know why there are separate ones, if there are separate ones still. But yeah, it's been great. We use it, us and our business partners have used it many times to fly for free. We've gone to Cancun twice. My business partners have gone to Cabo. We've flown around the United States a few times. We went to Disney World as a group with our business partners. So yeah, it's been awesome. Now I know that the one scenario where a lot of people might say like, yo, why are you paying with a credit card is like with inventory. We do understand that. I think the credit card fee like slightly outweighs the points that we're getting back by using a credit card, if that makes sense. So like, for example, let's say you pay with a credit card on Alibaba and you get hit with the credit card fee, whatever it is, 2.5% or something. So you spend $250 in credit card fees. Well, if we were to take the value of our points that we got for using our credit card, let's say it's $200 worth of points. So we might be losing a teeny bit of money by using a credit card instead of using like a bank transfer or something like that. But we haven't, I mean, on a smaller scale, maybe it's not as big of a deal. Once you get to a larger scale, maybe that affects you a little bit more. But honestly, here's the way that we looked at it, because we actually looked at that and we are like, dang, should we just be paying with a bank transfer so that we're not losing $50 or whatever it is on this order by paying with a credit card? The way that we looked at it was, we really enjoy having a miles card. And we specifically picked a miles card because we wanted it as a reward. We use it as a way to like reward ourselves for hitting certain benchmarks or celebrations or things. It's kind of like when you get cash for your birthday versus getting, let's say, a gift card. And I'm dumb for saying this because I'm actually someone who kind of hates gift cards. But if it's a gift card that you genuinely want, if you get cash for your birthday, usually you just put it in the bank, right? And you forget about it. You don't actually spend it on a birthday gift. But that's what it was meant for. It was meant to bring you joy of like, here's $100 for your birthday. Go spend it on a guilty pleasure and enjoy yourself. Like do something, get something that you've wanted. But instead you put it in the bank and it ends up paying your utility bill. That's the way we looked at it with this too. It's like, well, if we did a cashback card and we just got money back to our business, it's like, yeah, okay, we earned $2,000 cash back for our business that we could spend on inventory or spend on ads. But that's no fun. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we wanted a points card so that we could reward ourselves and say, hey, when we hit this benchmark, we're going to Disney World. And that's what we did. When we hit $1 million in sales, we flew to Disney World with our business partners for a week. And we went to Disney World, went to Universal, and we paid for that with our points, right? And used our credit card points to do that. And it's the same thing like when we went to Cancun twice, or, we've flown and done a few other trips with our points as well. But that's kind of like my personal philosophy of like the credit card points is we're getting that money back, and it's almost like we're forcing ourselves to use it, or we're incentivized to use it to do something fun versus just like I said, paying off some inventory or having 2 grand extra for ads. It forces us to go on vacation. Hey, I got 1.3 million flyer miles. Let's go somewhere. That's literally what me and my wife did like 3 months ago. We were like, hey, we got, 800,000 miles. Where do you want to go? Like, let's plan a trip. Versus if we didn't have those points and we just like put it all back in the business, I wouldn't have 800,000 or 1.3 million flyer miles. I wouldn't be planning a trip because I'd be like, oh, I don't want to spend 2 grand to fly to Cancun. You know what I'm saying? So using the credit card that way as much as possible and getting as many points as possible, it's really allowed us to enjoy life in ways that we probably never would have. Like if we were going to fly to Europe or Asia or something, we probably never would do that unless we had this ridiculous amount of points. So that's how I look at it. But as far as finding another credit card, there's other good ones. Like, don't get me wrong, there's other good ones. We've just stuck with this one. It's worked well. And a big reason why is because we use it for inventory too. I think if we only used our credit card for, let's say, advertising, that's like the big expense, right? Like the biggest monthly expense. If we only used it for advertising and we did like bank transfers for inventory, we'd probably use a different credit card. We'd probably use like American Express. I believe American Express still offers a business credit card that offers 3 times the points on advertising spend. And there's another card. I think it's the Chase Inc. card, if I remember correctly, but there's one that also offers 3 times the points on your largest category of spending. Don't quote me on that. I'll have to look that up. But the one thing we didn't like about that was if they had a limit. It was like up 3 times the points up to $10,000 per month. It's like once you hit 10,000, it goes back to like 1 point. And we spend $35,000 a month on ads and $40,000 a month on inventory. So we didn't want to be capped at that 3x mark. We'd rather just take 2 times the points on anything with no limit. So for our purposes, that was the best one and it worked out well. But I do understand why people would want to go with like Amex or even the Chase card if maybe you're not paying for inventory with a credit card. But those three that I mentioned in that podcast episode, I think are still my top three. Though of those companies, I think they've actually come out with some new versions of that card. I think American Express specifically, I thought I saw something come through where they're releasing like a new version. I can't remember what it's called. If you find it, if you search American Express business cards, you'll find it. But I think they came out with like a new upper tier of their business credit card. So I think that's maybe one to look into. But those three that I mentioned, I still think are the top three. We just got a message here in the chat that says Chase Inc. offers 12-month 0% APR financing for people just starting to launch without much working capital. That's also a great thing to look into. Like if you're someone that's trying to put, a good chunk of your working capital on a credit card and you want to spread that out a little bit more to give yourself more time, right, to make it back paid off, then yeah, looking into a credit card that has maybe a little bit better APR or longer, time frame, then that's definitely something to consider as well. That wasn't super huge on our mind when we got started, but I could definitely see how using like the APR could be beneficial. So that's a good tip right there.